Hi everyone, CyberMark here. In today's demo, I'll show you one of the many ways you can move files between systems. I hope this motivates you to set up your own home lab for testing out these concepts. In my setup today, I'm using two virtual machines, an Ubuntu 2004 and a Windows 7 machine. On my host operating system, I'll be using the Windows subsystem for Linux and a PowerShell instance in the Windows terminal. I'll show you how to run a simple Python server and introduce you to Ncat and Netcat. These are commonly known as the Swiss Army knife of networking. So remember to try these concepts for yourself and have fun with it. It is really the best way to grow your skills. All right, I like having fresh terminals, so we'll start there. All right, so first things first, I've already downloaded a statically compiled version of Ncat from nmap.org. And so that's going to be a binary that can run on this Windows VM without having to install a bunch of extra stuff. Right? Sometimes it's nice to just get a utility over to a machine where you need it. All right, so I have that here staged in my Windows subsystem for Linux in this zip file. So I'm going to go ahead and up arrow a couple times where I have my line. I'm going to run a Python server. So Python tag 3, Python 3 tag m http.server, so that's the HTTP server module, and I'm specifying port 8088. You could really pick any port, but that's the port I'm going to pick. Alright, once I hit enter, I am serving that on any IP address associated with my machine here on this specific port. So it's waiting for requests. Let's go on over to our Windows VM here, and I'm going to stop this before it loads. We're going to get the address. Since I don't have DNS set up, I'm going to use this address to go to the web server on this machine. Alright, so http://192.168.12.141, and remember that we specified port 8088. That's important because the default port for web traffic is port 80. So we'll hit enter there, and you can see it shows a directory listing for the current directory where I'm serving the web server. And you can see, just like I did my directory listing here, I have one zip file there. Go ahead and right mouse click and save the target as. Keep the name the same and we'll save it to the desktop. Alright, so let's go ahead and open the folder. You see it there. Alright, we're going to extract all the files. Wonderful. So now we see that we have the binary here. Here's the application. One little shortcut I learned years ago is that when you're in a Windows Explorer, the File Explorer, and you go to the top bar where you have your path, you can actually type in a few things there to help you run some fun shortcuts. So I'm going to type PowerShell, not PowerShell, cmd.exe right in that top bar. That already drops me in the path where I need to be. So pretty neat little shortcut someone showed me once. Alright, and so the syntax for Netcat, I'm just going to simply type in, what I'm going to do is set up a server here. So I'm going to put ncat, I'll hit tab so it does the .exe, dash, no network name resolution, listening, verbose on port. Let's pick 50555. Alright, once I hit enter, you can see that I have a listening message that pops up here. Alright, so how do I know how to connect to this thing now? Well, I'll look at my server logs from the HTTP server, and I can see that the IP address that requested the Ncat was right there in my server logs. So I'm going to use my Ubuntu machine here simply to have a TCP session between the two machines there. So in this window, I'll be using NC, which is the original Linux Unix utility that's known as Netcat. And then this one here is Ncat. I sometimes reverse those because they're often interchangeable. The main difference being that Ncat offers SSL encryption as an option, and Ncat does not, to my knowledge. All right, so I'm simply going to say no name resolution, flags, no name resolution, verbose, and we're going to connect to 192.168.12.253. We'll specify the port 50555, and we are connected. So these two different machines, this Ubuntu machine and this Windows machine, are connected. All right, this is a simple TCP connection. You can send data unencrypted between these two machines. So if I type hello, I am Ubuntu, that message pops up there. Hi, I am Windows. And I hope you found that useful. This was one of the first ways I learned how to use some of these utilities. Again, I can't stress it enough. Get out there, get your hands on the keyboard, try some of these things for yourself, and that's a great way to grow your skills.